April 19, 1942. Somewhere near Myitkyina, Burma, a humid mist clings to the jungle canopy. The morning air smells of wet bamboo and oil. Down a narrow mud trail, a convoy of Willys MB Jeep snakes forward, engines coughing, tires churning through the red muck. The sound echoes like an insect swarm through the trees. On a ridge above, Major Hideo Nakamura of the Imperial Japanese Army peers through his binoculars. Around him, a group of officers smirk. America no Amacha, one of them says, an American toy. The tiny vehicle looks absurd compared to the hulking Japanese trucks bogged down on the same road days before. They watch as U.S. and British troops, faces streaked with mud, use the jeeps like mechanical mules, ferrying ammunition, medics, and food up slopes that would defeat a pack horse. One soldier jumps from the driver's seat, flips a lever, and another jeep roars to life with a simple hand crank. It climbs the incline as if pulled by invisible ropes. Rain begins to fall, a curtain of tropical downpour. The Japanese officers retreat under ponchos, still laughing. "Too small," says Nakamura's adjutant. "No armor, no power. It will drown before the monsoon ends." But the laughter fades as the convoy keeps moving, headlights cutting through the storm, drivers unbothered, their silhouettes ghost-like in the mist. By nightfall, the same trail becomes a trench of mud deep enough to swallow a truck tire. Yet the jeeps glide through, bouncing, sliding, but never stopping. At dawn, when Japanese scouts return to survey the road, they find fresh tire tracks where no machine should have passed. What they don't realize yet, this toy has changed warfare. The Willys Jeep is becoming the new horse of the modern army, simple, rugged, and unstoppable. Its heart, a 60-horsepower Go Devil engine, beats like a drum of freedom through the jungles of Asia and the deserts of Africa. And soon, those who mocked it will come to depend on its legend, or fall trying to match it. Ohio, 1940. Long before Major Nakamura's laughter echoed through the Burmese jungle, a small team of engineers works under flickering factory lights in Toledo's Willys Overland plant. The smell of machine oil and cut steel fills the air. Draftsmen lean over blueprints that will soon define mobility itself. The U.S. Army's demand is simple and insane. A light reconnaissance vehicle, under 1,300 pounds, capable of carrying soldiers, guns, and supplies across terrain where trucks die and horses give up. It must do everything, and it must do it yesterday. Karl Probst, Willys' chief engineer, tightens his tie, sketches the outline of a squat, boxy frame, all function, no vanity. In just 49 days, his team builds the prototype, the Willys Quad. Flat fenders, fold-down windshield, four-wheel drive. It looks like a mechanical Beetle built for war. At Fort Holabird, Maryland, the Army lines up competitors, Bantam, Ford, and Willys. Soldiers put each prototype through hell-deep mud, steep inclines, rivers, sand, and rocks. Most break down or falter. The Willys keeps climbing. It's loud, crude, but unstoppable. A sergeant watching the test mutters, "Hell, this little bastard could climb a wall." When the Willys Go Devil engine, 2.2 liters of pure stubbornness, outpulls every rival, the verdict is clear. The Army orders thousands. The Willys nameplate is soon joined by Ford's production line to meet wartime demand, both models merging into one word burned into history, Jeep. Some say it's short for general purpose. Others whisper it came from Eugene the Jeep, a magical creature from Popeye cartoons, small, loyal, and capable of anything. Whatever the truth, soldiers fall in love with it instantly. It's the first vehicle they trust like a comrade. You could shoot at it, drop it, drown it, it'd cough, sputter, and keep going. A machine with a soul. And soon, this iron mule would prove its worth, not in American deserts or training fields, but in the merciless jungles of Southeast Asia, where every wheel turn was a gamble with death. May 1942. Northern Burma, the Ledo Road. A stretch of hell carved through mountains and monsoon. Leeches cling to boots. The air tastes of rot and sweat. Men sink knee-deep in mud before sunrise. This is the road to China. and the Willys Jeep is about to earn its immortality. American engineers of Merrill's Marauders and British Chindit units under Brigadier Ord Wingate push through the wilderness. Behind them, the toys, the jeeps loaded with ammo, wounded, and rations. Jungle vines slap their hoods and water floods the floorboards. Drivers don't flinch. They just shift gears and push on. Everywhere else, machines fail. Trucks bog down, horses panic, oxen collapse. The Jeep, it climbs ridges slick with rain like a stubborn insect. One soldier jokes, "The Jeep doesn't need a road, it makes one." At an observation post, Japanese Captain Sato stares through binoculars, bewildered. American supply lines, once easy to cut, now move faster than expected. Small, fast convoys dart through trails once thought impassable. "Impossible," he mutters. "They must be using aircraft." But no, it's the Jeep. In one daring maneuver, Chindit troops use jeeps to haul 3-inch mortars up steep jungle paths where even men struggle to walk. The vehicles become lifelines, transporting the wounded from enemy ambushes, towing artillery through quagmires, even serving as mobile command posts. Rain pours for days. Engines cough, radiators steam, yet the go-devil heart keeps beating. Soldiers wrap themselves in tarps and keep driving. They nickname their jeeps Jenny, Wildcat, Lucky 7. Machines become personalities. Then one night near Magong, Japanese scouts ambush a small Allied column. Bullets snap through the bamboo. The jeeps swerve off the trail, lights off, drivers ducking low. A British lieutenant fires from the passenger seat with a Bren gun mounted on the hood. The jeep lurches forward, through mud, fire, and smoke, crashing through a bamboo fence straight into enemy cover. When dawn breaks, 2 jeeps sit riddled with bullet holes, but their engines still idle. The wounded are loaded up and they move again. By now, the Japanese soldiers who once mocked the vehicle begin to fear it. Wherever it appears, it means supplies, reinforcements, and unrelenting pursuit. A whisper spreads among the enemy ranks, "The machine that doesn't die." October 1943. Somewhere near Indore, Burma. The jungle is silent except for the faint hum of insects and a low, rhythmic sound, engines. Dozens of jeeps crawl out of the mist, headlights blacked out, mud splattering across canvas covers. Behind the wheels, Allied commandos grip their weapons, faces painted, jaws tight. Japanese Lieutenant Colonel Hiroshi Tanaka, once a proud skeptic of American toys, watches from a captured ridge. He squints at the approaching convoy through binoculars. "Those same cars," he mutters. "They're everywhere." His men scramble to intercept, setting up roadblocks, rolling fallen trees into the trail. But when the first jeep reaches the obstruction, the driver doesn't stop. He grins, shifts gears, and guns it. The vehicle bounces over the logs, lands hard, and keeps moving. Behind it, others follow, hopping, weaving, roaring like mechanical beasts. Tanaka lowers his binoculars, expression changing from contempt to grim realization. The Americans aren't just moving fast, they're fighting with momentum. Each jeep is armed now, with mounted .30 caliber machine guns, mortars, even makeshift rockets. They function like cavalry in a world that forgot what cavalry meant. And they're coordinated, communicating by radio, flanking through dense jungle, striking before the Japanese can even reposition. The Willys Jeep has become a doctrine, not just a vehicle. Its speed and agility rewrite the very rules of warfare in terrain the Axis thought impassable. By 1944, entire columns of jeeps are being airdropped by glider behind enemy lines. The sight shocks Japanese observers, small aircraft landing in clearings, unloading a swarm of jeeps like ants from a hive. Within minutes, they're tearing down jungle paths, kicking up clouds of red dust. "Impossible," one officer whispers. "They've brought their roads with them." Reports flow back to Tokyo, Allied units appearing in places considered unreachable, encircling positions, outpacing every counterattack. Even German advisors in Burma take note. The Americans have made the automobile a soldier. By now, Japanese mechanics try to replicate the design, Small 4x4 prototypes appear in workshops from Rangoon to Singapore. But the magic isn't in the steel. It's in the philosophy, the belief that mobility is might. The Jeep isn't just surviving the jungle, it's mastering it. And every time its engine rumbles through the night, Axis morale drops another inch. Spring 1944. The Stilwell Road, stretching from India into the heart of China, is a scar of mud and courage. The monsoon has turned it into a brown river, yet hundreds of Willys Jeeps snake through it like a living organism, headlights glimmering under rain, engines echoing across the jungle valley. Onboard American engineers, Chinese troops, and British commandos ride together, packed shoulder to shoulder, soaked to the bone, laughing between thunderclaps. The Jeep doesn't just carry them, it connects them. Allies from 3 continents bound by one machine. General Joseph Stilwell, pipe clenched in his teeth, watches a column crest a muddy rise. "That little damn car," he mutters, "is winning this war one hill at a time." By now, the Jeep has become a global icon of movement. In North Africa, it dances across dunes beside Patton's tanks. In Italy, it hauls wounded through shattered villages. In Normandy, it leads paratroopers through minefields. From Arctic snow to Pacific atolls, the same boxy frame endures dented, patched, but never beaten. And wherever it goes, soldiers write home about it. Letters speak of Jeeps that swim through rivers, jump like goats, and run after tanks like angry dogs. Even captured Japanese diaries begin to mention them. The small American car is a demon. It climbs the mountains like wind. We hear it before we see it, and when we shoot, it is already gone. By 1945, more than 600,000 Jeeps roll across every front. In photographs, they blur between mud and motion, a timeless silhouette that defines Allied persistence. When the war ends, soldiers refuse to leave them behind. Many are shipped home, rebuilt, painted fresh. Farmers buy them. Explorers drive them into deserts. Peacekeepers use them on new frontiers. The Willy spirit outlives the battlefield. And for those who once mocked it, the Japanese commanders who laughed in the Burmese rain, the memory remains bitter. What began as a toy became a weapon of strategy, speed, and survival. It was never the biggest nor the strongest, but it was everywhere. It was the heartbeat of the Allied advance. As history fades into film grain and memory, the sound still lingers, the rough, hopeful growl of the Go Devil engine, climbing one more hill, carrying one more soldier toward victory. Because in the end, the Jeep wasn't just a vehicle. It was the symbol of unstoppable grit, a machine that mocked the impossible and won.